Well, hi and welcome back to my beautiful office. It's an overcast day. It's a bit dark and dreary in here. But the theme of today is birds nesting and how to find them using a technique that I've built up, and that is eavesdropping on birds' conversations. Alright, so how I achieve that for starters is, I've talked about this a lot over the years. I walk into the reserve a certain distance, I stop, I listen to birds chirping so that I can switch off from the outside world and tune into nature. But that's also helped me to get a good understanding of what their vocalization is at every time of the year. Right, so we're now into breeding season and I've been listening to it building up. I'll just stop someone walking past. He's almost gone. So yeah, birds change the pitch of their voice. So it goes from a nice call during the winter to slowly getting a little bit more authority about it. You know, there's just subtle changes sometimes, and then once they start to have a territory, you hear them doing a different type of call, but also visually seeing them, their body language changes. You see the way they start reacting with their partners, reconfirming their bond to them by feeding them worms or, you know, whatever, all those sort of things. So this is what we watch out for. Subtle changes in their behaviour, and then as they start to build a nest, they totally change their attitude towards other birds, and their vocalisation gets stronger, more aggressive. You get alerted to the fact that there's something going on, that is for sure. So I am hearing in the background quite a few birds. Their calls have changed quite considerably. So you'll probably hear more than me. The mic will pick up more birds than what I can hear. There you go. That's what I've been listening to the most. The white-eared honeyeaters have their territory worked out, and from what I just heard then, they all have nests. That's the male. He'll sit up high in the tree, say 5-6 metres up, and he will do those sort of calls to say, this is my area, I've got a nest here, stay out of it. I've already found one. We're going to move on now, look for some more birds' nests over further in the other end of the reserve. Just that I've been here for an hour and I'm not really hearing or seeing anything that alerts me to different types of birds that have a nest at the minute. I've been listening to the grey thrushes. Their tones are slightly different, but it's not really alerting me to the fact that they've got a nest, their calls. Golden whistler. I'm not quite sure whether it's actually up to anything, or they tend to do this to me a little bit. They'll come around an area for quite some time doing those sort of calls. They lie to you a lot. You spend a bit of time trying to home in on where they might have the nest, and there's nothing there. And they'll be there for weeks in the one spot. They just haven't built a nest or anything. Going off my experience from over the years, it's possibly a little early for them, but this year's a little different because of the rain that we've had over the year. I we've had phenomenal amount of rain, and there's a lot of insects around, so most of the birds are nesting a lot earlier than they normally would do, so maybe it has. Maybe it has. I'm going to come back to this one. I want to go around the back of the reserve first, but you know, I'll keep it on the list for going checking out. And actually, nesting box number 2 is out the back there, and I've got to check up on that today anyway. So I'm going out the back here. Right, so just watching that yellow robin for a little while, and it flew back to its partner, gave its partner a worm, and then flew off over here. Nest building just here. Hope you can see that. A bit dark. I've just been standing here watching what's been going on when New Holland honeyeater has been hovering around above and chased her off actually. I thought, aha, they must have picked a spot, this area, to build a nest themselves. But usually they're a little bit later on in the year. But as I've already said, it's an unusual year. Birds seem to be nesting a lot earlier than they normally do. So, you know, we're still in August, it's almost the end of August. There's the yellow robin, she's come back again. Hopefully you can see that. Yes, I'm watching all this going on, and the female New Holland honeyeater flew past me onto the top of the bracken just behind me here, with some nesting material in the mouth, and she's building a nest in there. So that's nearly 5 metres apart. It's going to end in tears. And the yellow robin's the one that's going to lose out. Once these guys really work out what's going on here, they'll destroy that nest, or they'll kill the chicks when they hatch, if it gets that far. I've seen it before. So yeah, there you go. This is just from listening and observing. We find a lot of things going on around us. I've just spotted a brown thornbill as I've come back into the reserve after doing an errand for my wife. I had to quickly sprint off. As I've just walked in, I've just noticed behind me, you might just see a brown thornbill looking suspicious. And that's when I noticed in this prickly currant bush here, just near me, a nest that's built. So I'm visually seeing things as well. We're not just listening and watching what the bird does. We've also got to keep our eyes out as we're walking along the trails as well for a nest itself. But anyway, she did alert me to the fact, or he alerted me to the fact that there was something going on nearby. And that is the nest. Just in there, cute little ball with an entrance in it. Move away. It's to continue building it. They're one of the most picked on birds in the reserve. As soon as they build a nest, the honey eaters especially, see them building a nest, they'll just go and wreck it for the fun of it. Not because they're nesting near where they are, where they're going to have a nest. They just do it purely for the fun of it. Yeah, I feel sorry for them. Brown thornbills will alert you to the fact that they've got a nest. The male will sit up in a tree, at 3 or 4 metres up in a tree, right near the nest, and announce to the world that I have a nest, I'm going to defend it. That's right underneath me if you want to see it. It's pretty well much the way they act. That's how I see them anyway. I hear this certain chirp, which we'll probably find as we go around, especially at the back. Well, good morning. It's another beautiful day. The sun is up, and that sign has me worried about my reserve being flooded with rainbow people today. Obviously doing something for the kids, I would say, to keep them entertained and thoughts away from this friggin' lockdown that we've been in for, oh God knows how long now. I've lost track. Anyway, back into the reserve and keep looking for these birds nesting. Actually, why do I really want to know about where birds are nesting? Why am I going to all this trouble to learn all the intricate bits and pieces of birds changing their voices as they move through the months building up to nesting season, and then watching them build their nest and all that? Well, it's to do with getting awesome photographs. We're increasing our chances tenfold because the bird's coming back to the same spot day after day, either building the nest or feeding the chicks. So we have some sort of control over getting those awesome shots wherever I walk through the reserve day after day. The likelihood of me getting something is pretty remote. Something amazing anyway. Might catch a snapshot, a bird jumping onto a branch in full sunlight, or whether I've got to use the flash for that or whatever. Yeah, trying to get an amazing pose. But because I have learned a lot about different types of birds, their intimate details, and finding their nests, yeah, I can just wait for that right pose to happen and get the shot that best represents the bird, if possible. So that is why I'm out here looking for birds nesting. And the thing that I really love to get is birds nesting is when the chicks are going to leave the nest, because they're much more aggressive towards their sibling. When mum comes in to feed them, they beating their wings and they're trying to outdo their siblings to get the food. I've only achieved a couple of images like that. Yeah, it's hard because I'll turn up knowing that the nest is getting close to that stage, and they're gone. They've already left before I've got there early in the morning, or they've left late in the afternoon. So it's a big challenge, and it's all part of the fun. But that's what we sort of strive for. Getting awesome shots, action shots if we can, or beautiful poses from mum and dad. There you go. Found my first rainbow rock. Number 2. Just been listening to the golden whistler again. I had a look around that area yesterday, but yeah, I couldn't see any nests. Maybe they're just establishing a territory, or they're just sucking me in again. They're not going to build a nest there at all, but it's still there. So we'll just keep our ears alert to the fact that there's something going on here every time we walk past. There's another brown thornbill male sitting up in this little wattle tree here. He's not particularly doing anything, he's just been sitting and he's flying off up there. But there's something going on here, because I saw him yesterday in this spot. I'm just going to stand here for a little while and let them tell me where the nest is. Much easier and a better idea. The brown thornbill showed me where the nest is, and it's just in this little bush here. Not quite sure what they're called, but yeah, this is an awesome one to be able to film. It's out in the open a fair bit. That might be a good one, as long as no other bloody bird attacks the nest and destroys it. So yeah, keep that one in mind. That'll be really good. It doesn't look completely finished yet. But what is completely finished is my peace and quiet. getting towards that time of day now. Everybody's out doing stuff, so yeah, it's getting noisy. This is a bit of a treat. 4 metres away from me is the fantail cuckoo. Get some more shots of these guys. They're awesome. A rare event being this close to them. There's a couple of whipbirds bonding. They have nested in this sort of area before. Push back another 40 or 50 metres, that's where they have nested, back up that way. But if I hear them going around doing that circle here over the next couple of weeks, we'll know that they're nesting in a similar area again. That's awesome. Love to film them properly. Had a little bit of good luck with them years ago, but I have more higher end cameras these days, so I'd like to film them with them. So keep our ears and eyes peeled. Well, the reserve is getting a bit crowded now, so I'm going to go home and have some breakfast. Then I have to go off and get my second coronavirus jab. So later on when you see me, I might glow in the dark, who knows. Alright, back into the reserve after having my second jab of covert vaccine. So I'm feeling good, no side effects, it's awesome. Alright, so had a good day today, got some nice photographs, a few keepers there, and I hope that you got something out of this video. That you can take what I've been saying today about eavesdropping on birds' conversations to help you out, find out where they're nesting quicker, so that we can get some amazing images consistently rather than wandering around the reserve and just trying to find them that way. So if you got something out of it and you'd like to subscribe to my channel, click on my pretty little face just in the bottom right hand corner of the screen. Hit the little bell. You'll get notification whenever I do anything else crazy like this. And if you want to go and have a look at all the mad and crazy things I've done in the past, click on my icon right here at the end of this video. It'll take you to my channel. There's over 100 videos to choose from me talking about stuff like this, about photographing and filming in a forest environment using a flash. Tons of stuff. There's heaps to choose from. And when I go on adventures, I'll take you with me. Go and have a browse, there'll be something there of interest to you, I am sure. And stay safe, stay away from that coronavirus stuff, and always remember, if you don't do, you don't get. So get out there and start photographing and filming wildlife, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.